Factsverse presents. They've known this all along, but kept it a secret. Before we get into this video, help us spread the word about Factsverse by clicking that like button, and also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. Number 1. The Eiffel Tower. One of the biggest tourist attractions in the world is the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France. Millions of people visit this attraction every year. Most people take the elevator all the way to the top so they can enjoy the incredible views. One thing that most people don't know about the Eiffel Tower is that there is a hidden room built at the top. Many say that it's more of an apartment than a room. Nobody knows why the room was built or who ever lived there. People visit the room occasionally, and it's been said that Thomas Edison spent a few days there. Last year, 4 lucky winners were able to spend a few days in the apartment to enjoy the amazing views from the top of the tower. The only problem was that they had to deal with the noise from all the tourists. They've known this all along, but they kept it a secret. Number 2. The Colosseum. One of the most famous attractions in Rome is the Colosseum. Millions of people visit it each year, and beneath the structure are hidden tunnels. While people are not allowed down into the tunnels, they are visible from the main areas. The tunnels were used to hold the prisoners for the gladiators to wait before a fight and to hold the large animals such as elephants, leopards, and panthers. When it was time for them to come up, they'd be lifted to the main area using a pulley system. The tunnel is called the Hypergeum Tunnel, which means underground. It contains 32 animal pens and 80 vertical shafts that provide instant access for the animals and the scenery. The Roman emperor is the one who commissioned the construction of the Colosseum. It was completed in about 80 AD by his son Tito. It was actually Tito's brother who added the lower tunnels. In 2010, they finally opened up the tunnels to the public. Number 3. The Lincoln Memorial. Millions of people visit the Lincoln Memorial each year. It is a very common field trip for students. Many people don't notice it, but there is a door on the side of that building. Behind the door is a long staircase that leads to a large room that looks like an actual cave, and inside you'll find real stalactites. The cave was designed by humans to show the natural wonders of our world. The man who built the room drew on the walls, and it's considered art. The National Park Service has deemed the drawings historical graffiti. So the next time you're in D.C. and you decide to check out the Lincoln Memorial, check out that door on the side. Number 4. Trafalgar Square. This is a place where protests, demonstrations, and lootings were very common. This is where Bloody Sunday and Black Monday took place. Since all of this was going on, it's no wonder that there was a strong police presence in the area. And what you might not know is that hidden in the square is the world's smallest police station. It's so small, in fact, only one person can fit inside at a time. It was built in the 1930s, and it was designed so that the police officer in charge would be able to keep order and have a place to rest at the same time. On top of the structure is an ornamental light. It's said that when an officer believed that the mob was becoming unruly, they would turn the light on to alert nearby officers. Today, it's no longer used for law enforcement. Instead, the people in charge of keeping London clean use it to store their supplies. Number 5. The Washington Monument. The Washington Monument is one of America's most visited landmarks by tourists and students from the United States and, well, all over the world, in fact. In recent years, the monument was closed so that they could do some repairs on the elevator inside. This was very unfortunate for those who wanted to visit the monument and see the inside of it. Fortunately, there is another version pretty close by. The replica is about 13 feet high, and it's known as Benchmark A. The most curious thing about Benchmark A is that it's located under a sewer lid. It's designed to help synchronize maps and satellites in space. It also monitors the country's landmass. When it was placed in the 1880s, it was on the ground, but over the years the Earth's surface has changed, which caused it to become buried. Since then, it's been sinking about 0.5 millimeters every year. Nobody knows how far Benchmark A will sink, and only time will tell. Number 6. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is a famous monument in Italy. The fact that it leans to one side and yet still stands makes it both unique and mysterious. The views from the tower are amazing, and millions of tourists visit every year. Many take pictures with it pretending to hold it in their hands. You can travel the interior building except for the top where there's a hidden room. According to the blueprints, the room was constructed so that the tower could lean without collapsing. The plans that prove this are hidden inside the tower. Many people believe the plans are in that hidden room, and the Italian officials don't want people to see them in fear that somebody will try to replicate the tower. Chances are there are plenty of curious architects out there who would love to see those plans. Unlike the hidden room at the Eiffel Tower, nobody's ever been given a chance to stay in this room in fear the secrets will come out. Number 7. Big Ben. Big Ben is a tower that's been standing for over a half-century. It's located in Westminster, London, and due to its age and beauty, millions of people visit the landmark each year. Big Ben has 334 steps to climb to the top, and for years people have not had access to it. To get inside, you had to actually apply for a permit. The problem is, access to the inside of Big Ben is limited only to residents of London. This is because the giant clock has secret passages that not everyone's allowed to find out about or see. If you're not a resident, you can take a guided tour through the clock tower and other places. If you're not a resident, you can still see the areas designed only for residents, but it's still very expensive. Many people believe that this is just London's way to make a little extra money. They assume that tourists will be willing to pay about anything to be able to see the sights that the people of London can. Number 8. The Pyramid of Giza. The Pyramid of Giza is over 98 feet high. It's located in El Giza, Egypt. It is the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world and the only one that still remains largely intact. What makes this pyramid so curious is the location of the secret rooms. Many people have tried and failed to find these secret rooms. If it weren't for technology that we have today, archaeologists never would have found these rooms at all, which they call the emptiness. The reason the rooms are called that is when the rooms were discovered, there was nothing inside. They don't even know why those rooms were built. Some archaeologists believe the rooms were designed to help the pyramid stand. Others believe the rooms held the men who ordered the construction. We may never know. Number 9. The Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty is one of America's most famous landmarks. It was given to the U.S. as a gift from France. When the immigrants came to this country in search of a new life, it was Lady Liberty who greeted them as they came into the New York harbor. You can visit the statue today, and you can go inside. Most people think that the crown is the highest point where people can visit, but that wasn't always the case. Her torch is capable of holding people. Unfortunately, that ended during the First World War when the road that led there was destroyed. The blast from the war was so bad that the glass and the windows all over Times Square were shattered. The entire island of Ellis was destroyed. While Lady Liberty did still stand, her torch was destroyed. In the 80s, a new torch was built, and the original one can still be seen from the top of the statue. Number 10. Disneyland. Most children and many adults dream of visiting Disneyland someday. It's one of the most popular theme parks in the world, and millions upon millions of people travel there every year. People from all over the world come to enjoy the theme park. It may not be a landmark, but it probably should be. Many people say that the tickets and meals are expensive, but there's one place that's even more expensive. It's called Club 33. There is an unmarked door in Disney's New Orleans Square that'll take you to Club 33. It is the only place in the Magic Kingdom where you can get an alcoholic beverage. The club was constructed so that Walt Disney would have a place to entertain his guests. The strange thing is that he never used the club. He died before the club was finished being built. It's open to the public today, but most people will never see the inside. That's because it costs members $25,000 to join this very exclusive club, plus an additional $12,000 per year as an annual fee. Inside, there are always 5 meals to choose from on the menu, and if you're going to pay that money to be a member, you should know that there's also a dress code. If you want to take a break from your fun at the park to visit the club, you'll need to go home and change. Your comfortable park clothes are not acceptable attire at Club 33. From the outside, you'd never even know that something special lies behind that door. Also, don't try to sneak in, because the security at the club is very tight. Walt Disney would be happy to know that the club still is the VIP area that he always wanted it to be. Subscribe for more.